All right. Good afternoon. Lakas-lakasan natin sa kabilang dako. Good afternoon over here. Afternoon. Dito po. Good afternoon. Okay. Sino po sa atin dito ang entrepreneur? All right. Para magising kayo, tayo muna. Tayo muna. Lahat ng entrepreneur. All right? Unless may kapansanan, hindi ko po kayo inoobliga. All right. Yan. Sino ang entrepreneur? All right. Okay. Na nagkaroon na ng failure kahit kailan. Taas lang kamay. Okay. Palagay ko common sa atin lahat yan. Okay. Sino ang entrepreneur na na-enjoy niya yung failure? Okay. Hindi. Na-enjoy. Okay. All right. Sino ang entrepreneur dito who wants to move from that and go into scaling up their businesses? Taas. All right. I think you are in the right room. Gagawan ko po ng paraan na makatulong po tayo sa ilang minutong na ibahagi sa akin. Magandang hapon po. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Rowen Untivero. Okay, I used to be in the training circles for almost 40 years, no? And I've been doing training across Asia Pacific for more than 800 companies, including here dito, and then of course also SMEs, no? Hindi lang ako pang enterprise, pang SME. I have a booth there with my COO, KINETX, yun ang pronunciation niya, KINETX, kineticizing the potential of companies to go and move through the 5 stages of being an SME. Handa na po ba kayo? You wanna take this ride with me? Okay na po ba? Yes? All right, let's do this. So, yan. Mukhang kamukha ko. Okay, so anyway, so, all right, we can skip. I can now do that. Okay. Okay. May nagsabi na siguro kanina, earlier, okay, I was manning my booth together with my COO. Hindi ho nananakot tayo, pero hindi ho tayo kakaiba. Alright? I'm sorry, are there a lot of foreigners here? I can stick to English if you wish, but alright, I'd like to keep it really very, very practicable. Okay, so, I'll do it. So, I'll mix it. 80%, I did not say this, these are studies coming from the World Bank, from IMF, from ADB, from many sources. This is the magic figure. It's not a magic figure of failure. And I'm gonna take and dissect because if we just takot lang tayo, we're afraid of something, it doesn't solve anything. So we need to be able to break down. Okay, so huwag kayong mag-alala. Hindi puro problems ang pag-uusapan natin. It's not only gonna be confined to that, but we're going to talk about some strategies. Although I only have a few minutes, so just breeze through. I'm gonna share these handouts for free. So things that you might miss, wag ka rin notes, instead of notes, try to be in the groove. Okay, so yan. 20% fail in the first, ano pa lang yan, di ba? End of the first year. And the rest, almost, pagdating ng 10th year, 80% of businesses fail. Okay. So, question, bakit? Okay, yan. So, tingnan natin. Teka, bumalik tayo. There. All right. Some entrepreneurs can afford to burn a lot of money. Hindi lang money, effort, time. MET, money, effort, time. Di ba? All right. And then, predominantly, they learn from their own failures. Okay naman yan. A good entrepreneur learns from his failures. Other entrepreneurs learn more from the mistakes of others. So, instead of money, effort, and time, they're trying to learn from what others have already failed on, see the context, and try to see how they can be able to avoid those. So they learn through wisdom. The first one relies largely on experimentation. Okay lang yon. Mahaba PC, you have all the money in the world, that's all right. But even, there's no such thing, I've worked with some of the top multinationals, there's no such thing as unlimited resources. Whether this is time, agree kayo, money or effort. All right, so let's take a look at the framework. This is my framework. It's called the 5 S's of life cycle of an SME. We have a startup. You start with a startup. You stabilize that startup. Not everybody goes through this. Some fail right here. You scale it up, and then you sustain it. And nakakalimutan, we have to have succession also. So ako, personally, when you go to the booth and I'm not there, that's my COO. That's my son. Okay, that's my blessing because I have 3 children and one of them decided he wants to be with me in this business. Diba? For entrepreneurs, you can relate to that. Diba? It's a major blessing. Oo, hindi na tayo katulad nung una, you have 14 children and a lot of, dito, diba? Now that we have probably lesser, it's a blessing that we have one instead. I'd like to highlight the 3 valleys of death. Napakalungkot naman ang sinasabi ni Mr. Untivero. 3 valleys ng kamatayan of death. The first valley, that's the valley of death, starting up, dead. Okay. Some of us may have experienced this. We did not enjoy it, but we learned from it. Okay? Another valley is called the valley of oblivion. Nakakalimutan ka na kasi hindi ka nag-scale eh. So you probably started the business, some competition learned about that, they did better than you, they innovated better than you, and you are now the one who's small. Hindi ako mag-name names, marami naman akong kilala. But even from restaurants, they started the business, but they stayed that. Another one decided to go franchising, went bust. Another one went franchising plus other strategies and succeeded. Okay, yan. So, the other valley is the valley of extinction. You have a very successful business, and now you are sad because no one, not even your children, not even your nephew, not even anybody there, if it's a family business, wants to take over. Of course, that's not the only choice, no? And when I was in the corporate world, I watch out for that because that's a probable business partner who's gonna leave the business when the time comes, no? So I always ask, how old is our partner, okay? By the way, old is 95. Anybody here over 95? All right. Our age, people I can see here, my dear batchmates, we're called seasoned, okay? Seasoned, huh? No one is old. We're just seasoned, okay? And no one is fat. We're sometimes off-season, okay? Huh? Okay, right? Okay, so now, let's take a look at, okay, so I think we've seen this one. All right. This is a lot. I'm not going to go through everything. There are 8 distinct reasons that we found that are causing the failures. 8. It can be business strategy is wrong or not there or lacking. Execution is wrong or not there or not properly done. It can be no access to the right markets. Wonderful product but no access to the right markets. Or wonderful product but you're getting it from wrong suppliers. Your suppliers are not the right ones that can provide you the competitive edge, no? Resources. Yan, lahat naman yan. Money, effort, time, etc. No? Innovation and technology. Ayan, ito ha. Bato-bato sa langit, tamaan, wag magalit. Ha? Okay? Alright? Deal? Alright. So you set up, baka makaka-relate, you set up a business, it's you and your husband, okay? And then you work the whole day, alright? You prepare everything the whole day, then in the evening, you're counting. You know, centavos here, the receipts and all. And then you sleep already because you still have to buy raw materials for the next day. You sleep at 2 a.m. and then you wake up and you're zombied already by the time. You know, you can relate to that. Nothing wrong with sacrifice. Pero I have a motto. Mapuyat na sa benta, wag lang sa kwenta. Okay? Because kwenta is you're taxing your life, taxing yourself, whereas that can be automated. There are solutions here. We have solutions also to that. Why you can do more, focus on strategy rather than the mechanical. Because if you're consumed by the mechanical, then you have no time for the thinking important, the analysis and how do you expand the business. Wala na, you're exhausted. Okay? May nakaka-relate? Taas kamay. Yes, there. Okay, I'm sure, yes. Especially if you're in the QSR business, if you're in the kiosk business, in all this, food, okay, you know the drill, how it comes. Okay, so now, innovation and technologies. There are many ways to innovate, no? Actually, my company began in innovation before everything else. Support services. All right, sige, we need to draw a contract. Tayo-tayo na lang. Tas mamaya, mali, di ba? And then, sorry pero ginugulangan ka na pala nung supplier mo. Ano. So again, these things can be, they need not be expensive. They're expensive if you don't really plan for it, no? Kwenta, the right one, paying your taxes. How many of you, all right, decided to do it all on your own and then here comes the knock from, sorry baka nandito from our friendly 3-letter neighbor, starting with letter B. Okay? and then you're being investigated, and you're now sleepless. Karelate? Karelate? Yes, yes, okay. Kaya nga, wag mapuyat sa benta, wag sa kwenta. Do it properly. Okay, so now, when we get to this, there are things that are also, unahin natin yung human capital. Human capital. Yan, marami din problema dyan. I'll go through that very quickly. Una muna, marketing failure. Number one, when we do our consultancy, isang excited yung may-ari. The owner is very excited. I have a product. It's a wonderful product. We will launch this. But the owner thinks that he is the target market. I've seen that mistake many times. You think you are the target market and you know the target market. Okay. That's not the case in a lot of... I came from Procter & Gamble also and did consulting for Unilever and a lot of the other consumer goods companies. It turns out that what I think sometimes is irrelevant. What is relevant is how does the market think about what you're going to launch. It can be the best innovation, but the market may not be at that level of acceptance for that. So, marami. So, we need to understand. Talk to the right market. All right, talk to the people that, and if you can't afford yet research, there are many ways by which it can be done. But you have to have data. Because without data, it's your gut feel. Now, how many of us, I'm Gen X, how many of you can predict what our millennials and centennials will really say or do? No. How many of us have Facebook? Facebook. Where are your children? Oh, they're in Discord and Reddit, not in Facebook, no? They're in Twitter, right? So even by that, there are differences. I teach a course called Influencing Skills where we look at generational variations and how do you relate to each generation. Because there are certainly very, very large gaps, no? Okay. We fall in love with the product or we misread the market. That's common. Okay. So you come up with a product and then you already buy. Okay, I've done consulting for companies. They already buy production facilities, their manufacturing. They have not sized the market properly. The market is so small that you cannot recover anything out of that. It's good because he probably did not borrow it. Because if you borrowed it, now you're in a deeper problem. Okay? Or better, if you tried to borrow it, probably you did not proceed because the one lending probably did not give the money. Okay. So, strategies can also be poorly conceived. By the way, the common mistake in strategy is that you think there are too many strategies. No po. No. Remember these three letters. SSS. Situation, strategy, style. That is a permanent sequence. You cannot have style unless you know the strategy. And strategy is actually derived from situation. So, an entrepreneur has to be able to assess the situation. Now, unfortunately, that's not the case all the time. I'll explain this, how you can get help. Because we're not supermen. How many here wear a red cape? Di ba? Lumilipad, di ba? We're not that. Or a Wonder Woman with, or locally, mabuhay, okay, lumulunok ng bato, okay, So, we're not like that. We want to be, but we're not. Sales is another one. Pag walang revenues, walang pagkukunan ng profits. You agree with that? So a business that does not gain that level of, needed increase, hitting whatever goals they have, is a problematic business from that at that point. No? Okay? So, it can be because you got the wrong people to sell. If it's a B2B business, some of you are in B2B, you sell to other companies. Are you aware that the B2B salesperson is probably at the top of the food chain as far as selling is concerned? Because it's not easy to sell to companies. It takes time, there's a gestation period, so it's not easy. Especially if you are competing also with others. It's a competitive field. Ang failure of selling is sometimes a failure of marketing. Mali yung produkto, mali ang positioning, mali ang pricing, value proposition is kalat, and then the salesperson is blamed for not being able to sell. Okay, again, this can be a chicken and egg thing. Compensation mismatch. You're paying a salary to the cost to the salesperson who you just hired from somewhere. Hindi mo na-assess ng tama qualification. Ang tawag doon, they will pretend to be busy, doing a lot of things, no? Admin and all that. But the sales is not there. Retail, you see that. I audit retail. I saw hindi ko na sabihin pangalan. This is somebody selling a chain, selling diamonds and watches and all. So I went there and I said, all right, Makati, sabi sa akin, sir, we cannot sell a 5 million diamond in Makati. Sabi ko, where do you want to bring it? To the edge of the provinces, no? Okay, baka meron. Sabi niya, sir, it will not sell here. Okay, I heard it. Sabi ko, I went to the store and I looked at it. Sabi ko, who's the branch manager? Ako, sir. Balangkinitan, sabi ko, mawalang galang na po, ha? I'm not body shaming. Sinong bumibili nito? Sabi niya, sir, ladies. Okay. Anong edad? 30? Hindi, sir. Over 50. Over 50. Alright. Halika. Ikaw, exception to the rule. I'm not gonna say you're 50. It's ungentlemanly. Pero, balingkinitan. She's thin. Okay? So I said, pahiram ng jackets. Wrap it around. You pretend that you are the 50-year-old. Gano'ng kalaki ang balakang ng 50-year-old? Okay, again, no body shaming, ha? So, nilagay. O, sabi ko, sige, silipin mo ngayon yung diamond na yun. O, di bumabangga siya doon sa likod. Sabi ko, can you move this by 5 inches here? Can you slant that? Inusog lang namin. Following week, the 5 million diamond was sold. Okay? So, these are retail issues. Meron ako isa. O, sabi niya, nagbebenta siya sa Olympic Village ng produkto nila. Maganda yung signage. Pagpasok mo, kitang-kita mo kagad. You can see it right there. But it doesn't sell. Their sales. Sabi nila, they wanna close the store in Mega Mall. Huh? You wanna close your store in Mega Mall? I went there with clickers. I checked. Pak. Okay, sabi ko, you turn the sign around kasi bawal yung four-sided sign. What, sir? Nobody will see it. No, you turn it around. We turned it around. We tripled the sales. What happened? They were not analyzing store traffic. When you go there and land, this is the, di ba, where you get search for kung lalabas ka na. The signage is here. The product is here. Are you going to stay here or are you going to turn left or right? This is a landing zone. You're not going to stay there. So nobody cares about that sign. All right? So now, I can tell more stories but I'm being given. So, again, wrong media. Uy, kaibigan ko si ganito. Siya na lang mag-endorse. Tama ba? Match ba? Alright, ilalabas ko ito. Saan? Okay, again, choose. Is it TikTok? Is it national TV? Where do you put it? Again, so, alright, PR. Unaware, you might be unaware, PR builds brands. Advertising sustains it. Okay? For the hardline advertising marketing people here, you know that. Okay? Okay, so then we go into, for execution, okay, well, I can tackle anything. Process, tech, innovation, the triangle of that's very important triangle. People, processes, and technologies. You have to look at where your gaps are. Some companies, some SMEs, very dependent on people. Pero pwede palang lagyan ng technology. Mas efficient. Okay, sabi nila mahal. Did you research? Did you find out? Mahal is something that you automatically is an impression but not necessarily so. All right? Mas mahal yung failure, no? Okay? Now, gaps, processes. I went to a warehouse and the warehouse basically said we can't deliver because the trucks are all lined up. Ang tagal. Again, tiningnan ko lang yung traffic. Tiningnan ko paano yung arrangement. I brought my expert in it. I'm not the expert in logistics, no? But when we brought the expert in logistics, we can still deliver on time because we just need to rearrange the way they're doing their stocking, where they're putting it, the racking. Again, these are things that can be managed. Again, okay? Okay. Resources, okay? Determine what M's. M's are money, machine, money, di ba? Okay? Determine which of the M's. I'll go straight to the point. A lot of us fail, and it really breaks my heart when we fail. We cannot help everyone, but we try to help a handful. We start with that, who are willing to go through a process. All right? You have a business, it's scalable, you're coachable, then we are going to do the assessment. We're gonna assess and see, do you need mentoring? Who is the right match? We have more than 400 consultants. Which one matches you? All right? Monitoring. Monitoring. So, I remember there are 4 ways by which we, sorry bato-bato sa langit. 1, I'm an entrepreneur A. I'm gonna do everything by myself. Because I think I know everything, which, of course, nobody does. Failure. Okay. Number 2, by the way, most of us entrepreneurs succeed in so many other businesses after. Because we try to do it all by ourselves, no? Second, I'm going to hire a consultant. I know him, he's cheap, okay? So first, you're looking, he's cheap, okay? In Japanese, sorry if there's a real Japanese here, there is a saying, nakamura, napamura, okay? Okay, nakamura ka, napamura ka. Okay, you try to go cheap and then you got your money's worth. Then they hire people like me. When I used to be partner in a very prestigious training company, but you can only afford me for half a day. And then after that, you try to squeeze me with everything and then you're on your own. All right? Success depends on how much you've asked me, okay, or how much you've applied. Again, it might be failure. So we said the right formula is if there's really somebody who's going to help, then it has to be long-term. But how can the entrepreneur afford long-term? Okay, first, he does not have or she does not have to afford. The wisdom that is there, okay, this is a program that we run in KINETX. We screen you first. It's not for everyone. We screen, we're compatible, all right. You look at what our rules are, we agree. Then we assign you a senior advisor mentor that matches you. Are you comfortable with that? No? Let's not proceed. Comfortable with that? Yes. And that senior advisor goes with you from here on until you're successful or until you do your IPO or what. That senior person is not alone. That senior person has access to lawyers, finance people, engineers, agriculturists, restaurant, whatever your business is. And they will be there. So how can you afford that? You don't need to because we pay forward. Tataya tayo. If we feel that that business is something worth, then we're not gonna try to make money off you now. We will all make money several years from now when you're big. The coaches of IMJAP, if I may mention that, Mang Inasal, are also coaches in my team right now. You know the story. 2 stores to billionaire, di ba? Because they've seen so many. It's not so much. Your coach does not need to have undergone exactly what you have. But they have seen so many scenarios. They have the science of it. They already know, papunta pa lang tayo, ano ang sasayangin ang pera natin, sasayangin ang pagod and all that. That advice is something. Somebody asked me one time, nung nandun pa ako sa kabila, sabi niya, Mr. Untivero, you're quite expensive. How can I pay for your services? Sabi nung finance ko, nung salesperson ko, you don't need, well actually, you will pay for it with the money that you still don't have. Okay? Ibig sabihin, there will be no sales, no? So I'm saying here, it's not for everyone, but this is something that you can explore, okay? Take a look at and see whether this is for us, no? But nevertheless, if you're not with us, we're not together, okay pa rin naman. Just gather what you can from what I'm saying. Importante, wag banat ng banat ka agad, kailangan there is ano. And by the way, invest in competent people, your own people. Oh, how many here? Oh, bato-bato sa langit, tama magmagalit. I have one brother, so he will have to do. Siya na yun. But the competency of the brother is not there. And then mag-aaway pa kayo kasi hindi pala yun ang kanyang gustong gawin. Alright? Diba? O may anak ako, dito, pilitin kita, dito ka. Alright. Then down the road, when you go to heaven, they do something else. And there's no legacy. Wala pa rin. Nasayang lang yung oras nila. Alright. It has to be first, it's nice to have blood. I know where you're coming from. Sabi nga natin, you want somebody related to you if it's a family business because you trust. Tama? Tama? I agree. You trust the person. Trust alone is never sufficient. Trust only ensures they won't steal from you. Diba? But sometimes they do, huh? Okay, but I'm just saying, trust only ensures they won't steal from you. But in reality, money, time, and effort are mostly stolen by incompetence. Hindi alam yung ginagawa niya. So, nangyari, you are the experiment. And your working capital is the experiment. Okay? Is the funder of that experiment. So, these are things I'd like to leave with you. I'm not giving in a lot of good news, bad news, but it's a reality that we all have to face. Agree? All right? Assess the weaknesses, the gaps, and if need be, put your money where it matters. Or if you don't need the money, we also do funding. Okay, kasama na yan. Okay. If we are deserving of the funding. No? So trust without competence is proven formula that leads to stagnation, business failure, or even at worst, bankruptcy. Last slide, please. All right. So this is the framework that we use. Okay. 80 to 90% is what we want to avoid. KINETX SME program will assess you here. Do you lack any of this? And then we can provide you with the 8 M's. If we are, check yourself, if you will pass this is our test, entrepreneurial requirements, business potential. If we align and you also like us, we both have to approve. Then we will assign you your senior advisor and mentor who has access to every subject matter expert in your industry. All right? And we're not just going to copy industry. We're going to try to innovate so that you have a better value proposition to the market. And then I will be, together with the senior staff, also monitoring the progress. All right? We will partner with each other. But since this is advocacy, unlike some funding that you get, we're not in funding alone. Huh? We can have that. Eventually, the owner only owns 2% of the company. Di ba? All right. It's an advocacy. We want you to be the face. We will never be majority. Okay? That's basically what we're trying to do. Grow, scale companies, and basically work together. Your pain is our pain. But if we cannot be doing that, we can still help you. We can provide you systems, solutions, and even coaching advice. It's just that it's paid in cash. Okay? This one is paid in blood. Okay? Together. Our blood together. All right. So 4 steps. We select. You select us. We select you. We reorganize the way you're configured, and then we engage, and then we go all the way, or we exit. If you want to sell your company or sell shares or grow it, we can be together from here on. Okay. So, may forever po. Meron. All right. So I'd like to go back lang outside of this. By the way, just to let you know, it's not just people, Not just people. Sorry, you cannot see this. This is technology. Technology, finance, offices, warehouses, logistics, supply, business solutions, registration of your company, anything that you need, regulatories, approval, FDA, DNR, kung ano man. Here is human capital, manpower that you need, HRIS systems, payroll systems. Here is information security, down to your security guards. We provide more than 21,000 product services and solutions. We will not bore you with that. We will only pick out what we need to cook as a chef together. But this is the mega market of more than 800 brands worldwide, 21,000 products, 400 plus consultants. You don't need to access all of us. You just need who can help you with your business. And with that, this is Rowen Untivero po at your service. Okay, maraming salamat and magandang araw po. Mabuhay po.